Today, we're not testing just another e-bike. This one feels different. When a bike shows up looking this serious, you don't just hop on and ride, you gear up. Because today, we're unleashing a beast. Dual motors, massive battery, crazy torque, and more power than anything I've tested on this channel. This is the Eahora Romeo Ultra II. And by the end of this ride, we're going to find out if this thing is truly the baddest e-bike I've ever tested. Let's get serious.
What's up guys, this is Daddy O from the O family, and if you're new here, we do a lot of e-bike reviews, family adventures, and just fun stuff like that.
Is that so?
So if that's your thing, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Today we're checking out this e-bike from Eahora, and I gotta say, they make some high quality bikes.
Okay.
When they reached out for this one, I was honestly pretty excited. So today we're gonna unbox it, get it set up, go over the specs, take it out for a real ride, and of course go over the pros and cons to see if this bike is actually worth it. So let's get into it. Alright, so they did send us 3 different boxes. Obviously this one is for the bike. Looks like this is for the front wheel. It's massive for the front wheel. And this one's gotta be the battery. It is pretty hefty here, it's heavy. Whew. Let's go ahead and open this up first and see what's inside the box. Alright. Nice.
Alright, so right away, this thing is packaged really well. Everything is protected with foam, and honestly, this might be one of the better packaged e-bikes I've opened so far. Let's open it up a little more and see what we're working with. After getting everything out of the box, here is the bike, and I'm already loving the look of this thing. The Romeo Ultra II comes in 2 different colors, gray and black. I was originally expecting gray, but I'm not gonna lie. This black looks sharp. The frame looks super aggressive, almost like a tank. Over here we've got the front fender, and here's the front wheel, which also has the motor built in. The tires have more of a street-style all-terrain tread pattern, so I'm curious to see how they feel on both pavement and rougher surfaces. Here's the rear coil shock, which looks like we'll need to install during assembly. Inside the smaller box we have the headlight, left and right pedals, tools, a combination wrench, and the owner's manual. And then inside this box we've got this massive charger. This thing is no joke, and that looks like everything in the box. Now let's get this beast put together. For assembly, I usually like to start with the front tire first, but this bike is massive and it's definitely on the heavier side. So for this one, I decided to start with the handlebar first just to make everything easier. I'm loosening the stem clamp bolts, opening up the handlebar clamp, sliding the handlebar into place, lining it up nice and straight, and then tightening everything back down. Next, we're moving on to the front wheel. I removed the front axle, loosened the bolts and washers on the wheel, and then carefully lifted the bike so I could roll the front wheel into the fork. The big thing here is making sure the brake rotor slides cleanly between the brake pads. Once that's lined up, I added the washer, tightened the small locking screw, and then tightened the axle nuts on both sides. Now for the front fender, I'm loosening the screw on the front fork, sliding the fender into place, and tightening it down. There are also screws on the side of the fork to help keep everything secure, so make sure those are lined up too. For the headlight, there are 2 screws on the front fork bracket. Just remove those, place the headlight in position, tighten it back down, and connect the wires. And since this is a dual motor bike, don't forget to connect the front motor wire too. Just make sure the cable is routed safely and not rubbing against the tire. Now we're moving to the rear shock. I lifted the seat area, positioned the rear shock between the seat and the back tire area, slid the metal bolt through, and tightened everything with the hex wrench. After that, we've got the pedals. Just remember, the left pedal tightens counterclockwise and the right pedal tightens clockwise. And finally the tail light. Unscrew it first, slide it through the rear frame, tighten it back down, and that's pretty much it. And just like that, assembly is done. Honestly, for a bike this big, I was expecting it to be a lot more difficult, but it was surprisingly easy and pretty painless.
Alright, so surprisingly, assembly was actually super easy. I was expecting a bike like this to take a little longer because it's such a big premium bike, but honestly, it probably took me about 30 minutes max.
Oh, really?
The instructions were clear, everything lined up the way it should, and I didn't really run into any issues. But now that it's fully assembled, just look at this thing. This bike looks like a beast. It almost gives me mini motorcycle vibes, and honestly, I'm here for it. Now let's go over a few specs because under the hood, there's a lot going on with this bike. First, let's start with the tires. We have these 26 by 4 inch fat tube tires. So right away, this thing has the aggressive all-terrain look. And then check this out. This bike has massive 240 millimeter by 3 millimeter steel rotors.
Whoa, hold it.
I'm not gonna lie, these might be the biggest brake rotors I've ever seen on an e-bike. But honestly, with the bike this powerful and this heavy, you definitely want serious stopping power. It also has a hydraulic disc brakes with motor cutoff. Basically, when you pull the brake level, the motor cuts power so the bike isn't trying to keep pushing while you're braking, which is great because this is gonna have lots of power and a lot of speed. That's really important safety feature, especially on something this powerful. You also get 2 piston calipers with semi-metallic pads, so braking performance should be pretty serious, and of course we'll test that out later. Now let's talk power because this is where things get crazy. This is dual brushless hub motor set up with 2500 watts per motor, and Eahora claims up to 6000 watt peak power.
That's crazy.
You're looking at 120 newton meters of torque per motor. So combine that, that's 240 newton meters torque.
Whoa.
Translation, this thing should have ton of power. On paper, this might be the strongest and fastest e-bike I've ever reviewed on this channel. So I'm definitely excited to see how it actually performs in the real world. Now for the battery, this thing is massive. It has a 60 volt 80 amp hour battery, which comes out to 4800 watt hours. That is a crazy amount of battery capacity for an e-bike. And yes, with a battery this big, charging is going to take some time. It comes with 67.2 volt 7 amp fast charger, but even with that, Eahora says charging can still take around 8 to 12 hours, but the trade-off is range. They claim around 104 to 235 miles using pedal assist, all around 70 to 76 miles using throttle only, which is wild for a bike this size, this heavy, and this powerful. Now for suspension, this bike is full suspension. Up front, you have adjustable air suspension fork with 100 millimeters of travel, and in the rear, you have air suspension with damping. So in theory, this should help smooth out bumps, rough roads, and light off-road trails. We're definitely going to test that out later because with this frame, these tires, and this suspension setup, I'm expecting this thing to feel pretty comfortable. The recommended rider height is 5'6" to 6'4". I'm about 5'10". I'm just sitting on it. It feels comfortable for me. The saddle is leather with memory foam, and honestly, it feels really nice. Definitely more comfortable than a lot of standard e-bikes I've tried. This bike is also IPS6 weather resistant, so it should be able to handle splashes and wet riding conditions. Now here's the crazy part. This is officially the heaviest bike I've reviewed on this channel. It comes in at around 174 pounds, and the battery alone weighs about 40.5 pounds.
Whoa.
So yeah, this is not your lightweight grab and go commuter bike. This is a heavy duty high power machine. And on paper, this might be the baddest e-bike I've ever tested on this channel. But specs are one thing. Now we need to see how it actually rides. Alright guys, before we take it out for a spin, let me show you a few buttons and functions here. To turn the bike on, there is a power button right here. You press that, and you can see the light is green. Once that power is on, hold down this power button for a few seconds. And the screen turns on. And that was the automatic headlight. Then when it's dark indoor, the headlight automatically turns on. And here in the screen on the top right corner, it shows the battery percentage. So right now it's 99%. And on top, it shows that your headlight is on. In the middle, we got the speedometer. The bike icon shows you that orange in the rear tire. That means the rear motor is on. By pressing the headlight button, now only the front motor is on. If I press the headlight again, now it's the dual motor. And on the left corner, the bottom shows the trip mileage. And on the right side shows the odometer. Right now it's 0 miles, so this is a brand new bike. If I press the I button, info button, shows a different information. Right now it shows the max speed at the moment is 30.2 miles per hour. Average speed is 23.1 miles per hour. Time that's been on, it's only been on for 1 minute. And back to odometer. On the left, there's a plus and minus button right here. By pressing that, using plus and minus button, you can go all the way to 5. And you hold that for a few seconds. Now the headlight is turned off. The screen is brighter. It's nice and bright. I love about that screen. On the right side, it is the manual 7-shift Shimano gear. It's a trigger version, which I like. And this is the full throttle. On the bottom, there is a loud horn, which is a big plus. And let me show you the headlight. It is nice and
The sun is
bright.
shining on me.
Here's the tail light, and here's the brake light. Going to more advanced setting, you hold down the plus and minus button for a few seconds. Now you're in advanced setting. That's the display setting. Let's go in there. The trip reset, unit, brightness, auto off, sensitivity. Let me do 4. Let's go down, back, advanced setting, assist level, speed limit, it's at 28. Let's see, would it go 62 miles? That would be crazy. Let's leave it at that. Speed sensor, I'll leave it at 10.
Are you sure about that?
Sensitivity, 5 maybe. Slow start, cruise control on, level park, enable, disable. Let's leave that on. Okay, information, exit. So that's how you get into the more advanced setting. All right, this is the heavy duty bike, serious bike. So I did get a nice helmet for this bike ride.
Nice.
Safety first. I'm gonna wear this for this ride. Here we go. All right, guys, this is a serious bike. Got the gloves on. Got my helmet on. It's parked, so I have to paddle a little bit. Lightly paddling. So right now it's the pedal assist 1. Only the rear motor is on. Even only with the rear motor, this should be quick. So lightly paddling, going about 6 miles. Let me do pedal assist 2. Oh, yeah, it's very torquey. Brake is good. All right, here we go. 12 miles, 13, 14, 15. And that was only with pedal assist 2, lightly paddling. Now moving to pedal assist 3. Here we go. This is a quick bike for sure. I mean, the ride feels so smooth. And going about 14, 15. Moving to pedal assist 4. Rear motor only. 18, 19. Let me try pedal assist 5. Here we go. Man, the ride is so smooth. 19, 21, 22, 22.
Whoa.
All right, let's do front motor now. I'm sure it's gonna go same. Oh, so smooth. Yeah, going about 21. Woo. That's fun, man. All right, so the moment we've been waiting for, dual motor, pedal assist 5. Here we go. Oh my God. Jeez.
Jesus Christ.
And I was 22 right away. Whoa. Sure is a lot of power.
Yeah.
Oof. Makes a huge difference from rear motor, front motor. Now dual motor makes a big difference. Let me go on the main road because it goes so fast. Here we go. My God. 26. Man, that thing's zippy. Let me just try the twist throttle here. Whoa. Jeez. That was 29 instant.
Wow.
Man, I'm going to just on the main road so I can really test out the speed, because I'll get in trouble if I go in the neighborhood. Let me go this way. Just using the twist throttle. Oh my God. So much torque and power.
I love it.
It's just instant. I feel like I'm driving a motorcycle. 30. Yeah. It is kind of scary when you get up to 30. A bike like this. I'm catching up to this car.
Whoa.
I'm catching up to that car. No problem on the main road. My God, this is so fun. Go this way. This is perfect.
Oh man, this bike is way too fun not to take out for a real ride. And honestly, this is not really a sidewalk bike. It's big, it's bulky, it's fast, and it feels more like something you want to ride on open roads where you actually have room to enjoy it. Now, when I was testing it, there was quite a bit of traffic, so I couldn't fully push it to the claimed 50 miles per hour, but I did get it up to around 45. And I'm not gonna lie, I've never ridden a motorcycle before, so going that fast on something this big was a little scary at first. You guys always hear me say, this is the fastest bike I've tested, because every new bike somehow keeps getting faster and crazier. But this one right here, this is officially the fastest e-bike I've tested on this channel so far. But what really surprised me wasn't just the speed, it was how smooth and comfortable it felt even at higher speeds. Between the memory foam seat, the full suspension, the big fat tires, and the weight of the bike, everything just feels planted. It doesn't feel shaky, it doesn't feel sketchy, it feels controlled. I rode this thing for a good 30 to 45 minutes, and even while pushing it pretty hard, the battery only dropped about 3%. That is honestly crazy. And then when I took it through the tall grass and bumpier areas, this is where the bike really started to shine. It just soaked everything up. The bumps, the grass, the rougher sections, it handled it way better than I expected, and honestly, this might be the most fun I've had riding on this type of terrain. If you're looking for something calm and simple, this probably isn't that bike. But if you're looking for something powerful, exciting, comfortable, and just flat out fun to ride, this thing delivers. It's the kind of bike where you get on, forget about everything for a little bit, and just enjoy the ride.
Alright, so after spending time riding and testing the Eahora Romeo Ultra II, I have to say this might be the most fun and most thrilling e-bike I've ever reviewed on this channel.
Is that so?
But just like any e-bike, it's not going to be perfect for everybody. These are just my personal pros and cons, and depending on what you're looking for, your opinion may be a little different.
Okay.
Let's start with the cons, and honestly, I'm kind of nitpicking here. The first thing is, I do wish this bike came with turn signals. For a bike this big, this fast, and this powerful, that would have been a really nice safety feature, especially because most people are probably going to ride something like this on bigger roads or longer routes. The second thing is the weight. This is easily the heaviest e-bike I've reviewed so far. So this is not something you're just going to casually throw in the back of your car and take it somewhere for a quick ride. This thing is big, it's heavy, it's built more like a serious machine. And lastly, this bike has a lot of power and torque. So if you are brand new to e-bikes or you're looking for something for a young teenager, I personally would not recommend starting here. With great power comes great responsibility.
With great power comes great responsibility.
and this bike has a lot of power. You definitely want to respect it. Now let's talk about the pros, because there are a lot. The power and torque on this bike are insane, but what surprised me is that because the bike is so solid and heavy, it doesn't feel sketchy or like it's trying to throw you off. As long as you respect the power and control it properly, it is an absolute blast to ride. This is easily one of the most fun bikes I've tested so far. The ride comfort is also amazing with the full suspension, fat tires, comfortable seat, and the weight of the bike. It just soaks up bumps really well. It feels smooth, planted, and honestly kind of buttery. And with this much power, you need good brakes, and thankfully this bike has them. The braking feels strong and controlled, which is exactly what you want on something this fast and heavy. The seat is also super comfortable. I honestly feel like I could ride this thing for hours and lose track of time. And that's probably the biggest thing about this bike. It doesn't really feel like a regular e-bike. It feels more like an electric mini motorcycle. The power, the range, the comfort, the size, everything about it feels serious.
Why so serious?
For me, this is the kind of bike I could easily use as an everyday ride if I wanted something powerful, comfortable, and fun. If you are interested checking out the Eahora Romeo Ultra II, I'll have the link down in the description box below. They are also supposed to provide a discount code, so once I have that, I'll include it down below as well. And of course, using our link and discount code helps support the channel, so we really appreciate it. Also, if this bike feels like a little too much, maybe too much size, too much power, or more than what you need, Eahora does have other options too. The Romeo Pro 2 gives you a little less range and power, but still has that premium Eahora feel. And the Juliet Pro 2 is another option if you want something a little more practical and affordable, but still with great quality. I'll try to leave those links down below as well, so you guys can compare and see which one fits you best. Big thank you to Eahora for collaborating with us on this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and hit the notification bell for more reviews and family adventures like this. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.